talk about the atomic models. Do you guys already know this? So you don't know J.J. Thomson's model of an atom? Yes, Arnav?
Ma'am, he proposed this model in which electrons and protons were only present.
Yes, there were no nucleus present. Yes, Nimartha, you don't have all this in your school textbooks. That's correct. So let's understand what is happening here. Okay, so basically J.J. Thomson, we know he discovered electrons, and he proposed a model of an atom, saying that the electrons of the atom are present inside a positively charged substance, just like how you have just like how you have seeds of a watermelon present all around inside the pulp of the watermelon. Similarly, he said electrons are present or embedded that way inside the positively charged substance of a sphere. So then Rutherford's model, which is also the current model of the atmosphere atom that we currently use, the current model is what Rutherford proposed. So the current model is also called as the Rutherford's model, nuclear model, planetary model, and solar model. All these are the names for the same atomic model, which is the current atomic model that we use. So why does it have these different names? We'll find out. And how did he do this, or how did he come up with this atomic model? We'll study that as well. So Rutherford performed an experiment called the alpha ray scattering experiment. In this, what he did was he took a lead block. Okay, can somebody tell me what is the purpose of lead? What does lead do? Inside
the substance that is used in pencils, and it is a non-metal which conducts electricity.
Hold on. Lead is a metal, but yes. Okay, but you need to tell me what it is that, yes?
Radioactive substance.
Yes, radioactive substance. So there is radioactive substance present inside this. So a lead block with cavity containing a radioactive element called radium. Okay, so inside this lead block there is a radioactive element. So this why do we need that lead? Why do we need to put the radioactive element inside that lead block? What does that lead block do? So whenever we put something, basically radioactive elements are very, very harmful to us, okay? So we need protection from these radioactive elements. We can't just have them around in the atmosphere going around like that. So in order to protect ourselves from radioactive elements, we put them inside a lead block, because lead acts as a shield which protects us from exposure of radioactive elements. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So yeah, a lead block with cavity containing radioactive element radium was erected. In front of the lead block, a very thin gold foil of this thin gold foil, 0.0004 millimeters, was kept. At the other end, a screen of zinc sulfide was adjusted to detect the presence of alpha particles emitted from the radioactive radium. So radium is present inside this block, and radium, obviously, it emits alpha particles. It emits a beam of alpha particles which pass through this very thin gold foil. And after this gold foil, I have a screen of zinc sulfide. Now we notice that some of these, okay, then what happens? Now when these alpha particles, they emit rays or beams, what happens? The rays were passed through the golden foil and scintillations were observed on the zinc sulfide screen. So the rays were passed through this gold foil. And what is the meaning of scintillation? These are scintillations. Scintillations means something that like twinkling, like stars twinkle or they flashed, glow. That is what scintillation means. So they started to observe that once you were passing these alpha particles through the gold foil, they would create scintillations on the zinc sulfide screen. So what is happening over here? So what is happening over here is alpha particle is a positively charged particle having 2 units of positive charge and 4 units of mass. Basically, what alpha particle is, it is a helium plus 2 ion. So what is the atomic number of helium? What is the atomic number of helium?
And it's 2.
Very good. The atomic number of helium is 2. So if I draw, what is the electronic configuration of helium? Do you know? Do you guys know what electronic configuration is?
Yes, ma'am.
It's something related to mass number and
Molar diagram.
No, so the electronic configuration is only related to the number of electrons. It has nothing to do with anything else, okay? Only related to the number of electrons. We will study what electronic configuration is in the coming slides. That is fine. So basically the number of, so helium atom has an atomic number of 2. So if I say helium atom has an atomic number of 2, how many protons does helium have? Yes, Bhumika, that is the electronic configuration, but it's okay. Other people here don't know, so we'll just stick with what we know as of now. How many protons are there in a helium atom?
1.
No. So whatever is the atomic number, right? Whatever is the atomic number of an element, those many the element has. Okay. So basically, the atomic number of the element is equal to the number of protons. So now, can you tell me, Arnav, how many protons does helium have?
2.
Very good. 2. Are you guys not able to hear my voice? Okay. So we know that helium now has, helium has 2 protons. So I'll draw the atom of helium. Okay. So this is helium. It has 2 protons in the nucleus, and the nucleus also has 2 neutrons. And helium has 2 electrons. So I'm just going to draw electrons with a dot. Electrons go around the nucleus. Now what happens when I remove these 2 electrons? If I remove these 2 electrons, I will be left with 2 protons which are positively charged. So initially when the electrons are there, there are 2 positive charges, so plus 2, and there are 2 negative charges because 2 electrons are there. So overall charge on helium is 0. But if I remove these 2 electrons, then what happens? I have 2 protons, so plus 2, 0 electrons, so 0. So overall charge on helium becomes plus 2. That is why after removing 2 electrons, I will write it as helium plus 2. Helium plus 2 is the ion of helium. Okay, that means 2 electrons have been removed. So the overall charge of helium becomes helium plus 2. So now helium plus 2, what will the structure of helium plus 2 look like? I'll remove both these electrons. So this orbit will also go away. I'll only have the nucleus. The nucleus has 2 protons and 2 neutrons. And if I say 1 proton has 1 unit of mass, then what is the mass of this total helium plus 2 ion? It will be
2 units.
2 units because of protons. Very good. And also, we studied that weight of neutron is almost equal to weight of protons. So that means there will be 2 units from neutrons also, right? So what is the total weight? 2 units plus 2 units, which is 4 units of mass. Did everybody understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. All right. So now we understood what alpha particles are. Okay, so alpha particles are nothing. They're simply a helium plus 2 ions. Okay, so whenever you hear the word alpha particle, that means you're basically talking about helium plus 2 ions. So alpha particles are emitted by radioactive elements like radium and polonium. So both radium and polonium, they emit alpha particles. Where did we see polonium before this? We saw polonium over here. So there is a source of polonium. It was releasing alpha particles that were allowed to fall on the beryllium strip. So basically this helped us find out neutrons, right? So over here also we had used polonium source, which was nothing but a radioactive element and which releases alpha particles. And the next place that we had used a radioactive element was in this case to study the current atomic structure. Okay,